Hey everyone, Reef Girl here. So I'm going to be doing a water change and some maintenance on the 20. And knowing I was going to be doing that, I've already done a little bit of aggressive cleaning of algae off of the glass so that it can get up and into the water column and hopefully down into the filter pad before I do the water change. So I'm just kind of documenting how things look right now. Look at that Ponape. I am loving the yellow that's coming out in that guy. Distracted again, sorry. Purple stylo, bald spot is gone, which is awesome. Still haven't got around to getting that bird's nest put up on the rocks. I need to do that. This blasto isn't looking happy, and I'm wondering whether the lobo next to it is giving off bad vibes. So I have to do a bit of reading. The lobophilia are supposedly semi-aggressive. I don't quite know what that means, but I'll see if I can find out. And the other thing is, take a look at the candy cane. I am so happy with that guy. I'm blown away by how well he's doing, considering there were many times I almost gave up on it because it was looking so skeletal. The spot it's in isn't super bright. It's kind of in the shade, and you can see that it seems to be doing better in the areas that are shaded than in the areas on the left that are bright. Sorry about that, it's kind of flaring out the camera, but I'm really happy with that guy, and I'm not going to disturb it. I'm going to let it just sit there and do its thing. In front of it on the sand I've got this, I think it's a war coral, but I need to do a bit of looking. I haven't had a chance to look yet to see what it actually is. I've seen feeders out on it, and it looks to me like it's starting to grow down towards the sand. So hopefully it will do well in that spot. I think it's about the right kind of conditions for it. And lastly, my Goniopora. It is really doing well now that it's recovered from the bad water. Still gets that little extension of algae out every once in a while, but really that's not much of a problem. It goes away, then it comes back, but no big deal. And here's my disgusting skimmer that I'm going to be cleaning out. I have to clean the whole thing out, even right down into the chamber. You can also see I've got a bunch of horrid gunk on the bottom of my skimmer chamber there. I think it just is stuff that escapes the filter pad and collects in the bottom, and of course I haven't done anything with it probably for close to a month now. So the skimmer cup was emptied during vacation by fish store guy, and I haven't touched it since I got home because I've been focusing everything on the 29. I haven't had much time to do this guy. Once I addressed the salinity, everything looked pretty good, so I just kind of left it. Chato's taken over the world, and I pulled out about half of it when I got home because it was getting that really light green color that just didn't look healthy. So I didn't want it to start dying and decomposing in there. So I just pulled out big chunks of it, and now of course it's almost completely grown back. But I'm going to be pulling this entire skimmer out of there and doing major maintenance on it, including the pump. And along with that, I'm going to do probably a 4-gallon water change. Total system volume here is roughly 30 gallons, so that's slightly more than 10%. And then I will test the parameters and see where they sit. Here's part of the water change process, which is to fluff the sand with the turkey baster and get all of this gunk up. The sand bed is very shallow, less than an inch, and I don't really have the ability to siphon it because I have egg crate in the bottom, and the egg crate is holding the sand, and then there's only maybe a ½ inch on top. So I go through and I fluff it all up, and it puts all the gunk into the water and hopefully down into the filter and to the sump below. Catches up in that filter pad, and then I can clean it out. So I cleaned my skimmer, so it's nice and clean now. Got rid of the nasty in the bottom of the skimmer chamber for the most part, and this is what it's pulled out in approximately 6 hours. So this Bubble Magus C 3.5 is the new skimmer that I got over the summer. And after initially having about a 2-week break-in period where it did nothing but overflow, and I was moving it up and down in the water and all of that, it seems to have broken in nicely. This afternoon I took it all apart, every piece that could come apart I took apart, and I cleaned it all, and it was very easy, super easy for maintenance. So I'm pleased about that. It was a good choice for me because of course I'm that little bit lazy. So there we go. Here's the tank just as the lights are ramping down. Water's clear again. It was quite cloudy this afternoon when I was blasting the sand to get all the stuff stirred up. And now it's kind of settling down for the night. I still haven't got that bird's nest put on the rocks. I'm going to have to do that as a priority. I also knocked off my Goniopora. When I was trying to pull the little bit of algae off the top, I popped it right off the rock. You can see the white spot behind it. Got to try and decide what to do with that, whether to try and put it back there or maybe put the Lobo up there, let it spread out. I'm not sure. I might put the Goniopora on another rock if I can find one that's relatively small and kind of flat. Pectinia is looking really good. I reoriented it and moved it away from the Duncan because you can see the bottom heads on the Duncan are a little bit shrunken. Shrunken Duncan. Sorry. So anyway, I moved it away, and I'm going to monitor the sweepers when they come out tonight after dark. Torch is looking good. This guy also fell off, and I knocked it with my hand when I was cleaning algae. So I'm angry at myself for that. Well, not super mad, but anyhow, should be more careful. So I'm going to put it back up here in the empty spot where it used to be because I really liked it there. And this time I think I'm going to put it in place with 2-part epoxy and really put a good mount up there for it. Yeah. And there's the forest fire digitata, and I do believe I'm starting to see green. If you look at it from above, there are definitely green spots showing on the skin, especially in that, can't get any closer than that right hand branch, the little knob that comes up the top that kind of looks like a thumb. The skin on there looks really green, so have to keep an eye on that one for the next little while, and hopefully that guy's going to be really doing something, getting some color back. Another thing I wanted to ask you guys, my Bengal Torch has been kind of angry, and you can see to the left, I'm sorry it's blurry, I'm really zooming in, but on the left is a giant mollusk of some sort. I did try to take a video from above today, but as soon as the shadow went over it, it closed up tight. But you can actually see into the shell. There is something in there. It's definitely alive. Does anybody know whether this thing might be bothering the torch? Whether I should maybe remove it? If I could remove it and try and save it, I could maybe put it somewhere else. Because I do like having filter feeders in the tank. So if anyone has an answer to that, that'd be great, or if you have any idea what that might be. This shell is white, and the thing inside it looks like it's kind of zebra striped. So, alright, so this has gone on longer than I wanted to because, of course, here I am rambling again. So yeah, there's the end of the maintenance for this. The post-vacation maintenance is now complete, I should say. I did a 3.5 gallon water change, cleaned out the skimmer, swapped out my carbon. I have carbon in media bags in my sump. I just put them in between the layers of glass, and then the water just flows nicely through them. And I also changed out that biochemsorb filter underneath the secondary overflow that goes into the refugium. So all that maintenance is now done, and I can test all my parameters tomorrow and see what needs to be done in the coming week.